Hello everyone, welcome back to a new plays Xin Zhao every day until the release of Zaahen. I'm gonna be honest, this series might not continue for very long. My friends have rejoined Wild Rift and I have been assigned to play the role of ADC. So playing Xin Zhao alone is probably not very beneficial to me. But I will say that playing Xin Zhao alone has allowed me to climb all the way from Emerald to Master 3. There are a few games in between where I actually played like top lane or the mid lane. Top lane for a few times since one of my friends actually is a way better jungler than me. So yeah, there's a chance that the series will be ending, and these will be some of the last few Xin Zhao games that I do every single day. Maybe I'll change it to like a format of every week if that happens. But going back to the game right now, we have a very interesting team composition. It is a near full AD comp. There is a bit of AP on Kai'Sa, if she's doing the on-hit build. There's a bit of AP on Galio, but our Yasuo last picked and just went Yasuo instead. There's not a lot of knockups on our team either. We have me, and then we have Galio, which Galio has to hit his E, and my knockup is conditional. Garen actually went for a very early little proxy farm, which I'm not sure he can do against a lane bully like Mr. Volibear, because in an extended trade I believe Volibear wins, and you will kind of have to like zone very carefully. And here I decided that I'm gonna go take the Scuttle, because the enemy team jungler is a Kindred, so she really doesn't have much ability to fight back. And there you go. Since I cleared camps faster than her, she didn't really have any abilities up. She's level 3, she's a whole level down compared to me when she contested the Scuttle. So while I didn't get the Scuttle Crab, I actually got her. And I think she's worth a lot more than the Scuttle Crab. Now I have level 5 and I can look for a gank. And unfortunately, I wasn't there for the mid-fight, but Yasuo managed to kill the Zed in mid lane on his own with Ignite. We have already lost the first Scuttle, the first Blood, so either way it was not looking good. And now I'm kind of getting spaced by the Kindred, but I do have my ultimate to survive. And I'm actually kind of like baiting the Kindred back in, because in a close range burst, she doesn't have enough damage to kill me. And by pulling her away from the Lux and her ADC support, it makes it so easy for me to just turn the fight around against her. So now I have 1 assist and 1 kill, which is a very decent start with Xin Zhao. Although Kindred already has a mark, which is not optimal. Like it would have been better if I could deny the Scuttle as well, but I think I smited a little late. Compared to her, I should have just dashed in and smite, or like smite before I dash, which would have caught her by surprise. Still, our mid laner is also falling, so it's actually not looking very good right now. The Baron laners are all proxy farming, which is a choice. I'm not too sure if that's very good. Kindred can be executed by Garen pretty easily, but also that means I don't really have much control over my own jungle as well. Here, I decided to help clear the wave since Yasuo was actually going to interact with the Volibear rather than going back to his lane. Honestly, some of the best ways to interact with proxy farmers is just to ignore them. Anyway, I focus on my farming first before I go help, and apparently I was a little too late. Since Volibear is definitely a lane bully with a lot of healing, so it's very difficult to fight him in an extended battle. So I'm not too sure why Yasuo stayed for so long when he was like completely free of just running away and farming his wave. Here I went in for the Zed, since I know that overall I have more damage than him, but unfortunately I was not able to finish him off, and the Lux actually came here to support. So instead I was forced to fall back with a flash, and I'm gonna go back to farming my jungle. I do see Kindred has marked me again. She really wants to know my location, and she's probably going for the top Scuttle Crab right now, which will be quite a bit of a run for me to go to. So instead, I'm just going to farm my jungle, get my Trinity Force, and then hopefully just fight her at the Scuttle. Yasuo is once again in trouble. The the enemy support Lux is actually roaming quite a lot, while our Galio is kind of stuck in lane. It's understandable because Kai'Sa does struggle against poke champ like Ezreal. She doesn't really have any means to fight back, she needs to scale. So that's 2 marks for the Kindred. But there's no camps really up right now for me, and I'm trying to get my teammates to clear the ward, but they aren't really doing so. So I'm just decided I'm just go up to clear the ward myself, and then look for a gank afterwards. But since I was in clear vision of everyone, they know to fall back, and I can only really threaten. But my jungles are up again, so I'm just gonna go farm my Gromps. 201 at like 5 minutes, it's alright. I think I would have preferred if I got another kill. Xin Zhao really needs more items at this point. Just a pair of boots and maybe like Sundered Sky would be amazing. The Kindred is going for an on-hit build. She's built Kraken Slayer, which I think it's like a decent power spike, especially for late game champions. Like just getting the Kraken Slayer gives you the ability to fight a lot better early on. Ezreal kind of pokes me, so I poke him right back, and he gets pretty injured. And now the mid lane is actually falling really rapidly. Our Yasuo is dead and our Galio can't really do anything. So here I'm actually walking forward to hopefully catch them off guard. Lux saw me coming and she rooted me, and I was not able to hit my Wind Becomes Lightning. And we actually lost first turret even before Rift Herald. Our Yasuo is just not doing great after last picking Yasuo when we have a mostly AD comp. And here I decided I'm going to drag the Dragon Art out since the enemy put down a ward. I'm kind of low HP, so I can't really fight too well. I was waiting for Kindred's ult to expire before I dash back in, and now I was able to actually get 2 kills on the Kindred and also the Zed. The Ezreal, however, came back immediately to kill me, and honestly, what the hell is happening here? Yasuo is building the Trinity Force equivalent of the crit item, while our Garen is going Trinity Force. I'm not sure Trinity Force works too well with Garen, since you don't spam your abilities. You don't auto attack. You don't spam your abilities and then auto attack. You kind of just use your spin, which doesn't really benefit a lot from the Spellblade passive of Trinity Force. So that is definitely questionable. We managed to steal the dragon away, so that's great. And now we are contesting for the Rift Herald as well. So if we are able to get this as well, we will be up in objectives, but down in towers, which is not a very good trade. There's no point for me to drop Herald early now, since there's no first turret. Instead, I should just look for tempo using the Rift Herald. And now I see Kindred is actually invading my jungle as she's trying to get her mark, and I really want to deny that. So I'm standing right here to make sure to kind of zone her away. My Wind Becomes Lightning is ever present and ready to hit. And here I'm able to beat these guys up, honestly. I don't think I would lose here, even with the Galio support. However, they actually outdamaged me quite a bit. I did not expect the Ezreal to be so damaging, but my teammates were able to pick up the pieces immediately. The Kai'Sa getting 3 kills from that fight is extraordinary, since this accelerates her build, and she's actually 6-1 and 2. However, she opted for the Terminus item as first item instead of the Kraken Slayer, which would give her an earlier power spike. But it's alright, since she already got 1 evolve, and we saw her pick up the Gunblade, the Rage Blade, Rage Blade as well. So she's able to kind of like sustain a lot better now, since she can also go invisible afterwards when she uses her third ability to dash. So now I'm looking to see if there's an angle to bully the mid laner. I really want to get this mid tower back, since that will equalize the situation a little better. We are winning in objectives but losing every single lane. Our Kai'Sa managed to pick up a triple kill just now, but we're nowhere near out of the woods yet. Our Yasuo is 1-6-1. He's really giving us the Yasuo special, and hopefully he will hit his power spike with level 10 death soon. Managed to pick up the Volley Bear, and now I'm trying to save my Garen. And I tried to delay my Q3 as best as I can, and I probably will get rooted and killed by Lux if I stayed in fight. So instead, I just decided to fall back and farm my jungle instead. Since I actually am able to buy what's that thing called? Sunder Sky right now, that would have been exceptional. That would have actually allowed me to win that fight. So once again, I didn't really get my base timing correctly for jungling, which is honestly embarrassing, since I have the empowered recall with the Rift Herald in my inventory right now. Anyway, I'm here to contest the Scuttle, because vision would be very important for the coming dragon, since if we threaten this dragon, we will be threatening Soul for the next dragon, which will be amazing. And I don't know why my Kaisa, is that my Kaisa? Yeah, my Kaisa and Galio are kind of hanging out the enemy team jungle and chasing down the Kindred, and now they're going to get collapsed on without having any lane prio. So they actually can't go through the tower because there's one single minion that's alive in the tower. And Kaisa unfortunately got shut down because of it and gave the enemy team a whole bunch of gold. That's about 500 gold, right, since she's on a 6-kill streak. So that's very, very unfortunate. And now we have to kind of like push the mid turret and now hopefully threaten the dragon. I'm still holding the Rift Herald, and I'm planning to kind of put it down now. So the enemy will have to decide, do they go for the dragon or do they stop the Rift Herald? And I placed it kind of far away, but the Rift Herald is actually moving quite rapidly. So the timing would be perfect since I'm starting the dragon now while the Rift Herald is nearing the tower. So as you can see, 3 people went mid to stop the Rift Herald, but then I will be able to get this dragon for free. However, the Kindred actually outsmited me. She apparently has some sort of ward here and just completely outplayed me. So I tried to flash back to fight against her since I thought I have more teammates at mid. But then apparently my teammates were not threatening anything and everyone just collapsed on me where I have 0 support. And finally the Garen is actually killing the turret with Trinity Force and Hullbreaker. It is such a doo-doo build. And our Galio tried to go in to save the Garen, which nearly cost him his life there. So now I'm building towards my Sterix Gauge, and I'm questioning whether or not I should buy Sterix Gauge since there is anti-shield on the enemy team. But there's not much better items I can get, and I think that's kind of like the problem with Bruisers right now. With the anti-shield items so fucking popular, it makes it very difficult for me to buy like something like Sterix Gauge. And now the Baron Asher is actually, we have no vision towards it, and I'm forced to just clear the mid wave because we have no vision and no one is walking towards that side. So yeah, honestly the Galio, the Garen and the Yasuo are both kind of playing horribly at the moment, and we're losing more than we are gaining. Like every inch of advantage that Kaisa and I give to the team, our Garen and Yasuo just give it right back. So here I'm trying to push up the minions and hopefully try to see if we can get an inhibitor. And the Zed is here to kind of stop me, but I doubt he can really one-shot me. However, the Volibear decided to flash in to stun me. I did not expect him to flash in like that, so that's very much my bad. I just did not expect that. I should have expected it. And now my teammates are trying to steal the enemy team jungle. Garen is actually running Phase Rush, but he's 0, 3, and 2. And he's not able to get that red buff either, and he's trying to clear the mid wave. Our Yasuo is going Infinity Edge second item after getting the Spellblade item for the first. I'm not sure first item for Spellblade is really the way to go for Yasuo. I would prefer something like, I don't know, the Bloodthirster maybe, or Phantom Dancer to kite more effectively, or anything else really. Like just I'm not sure the Spellblade item benefits him too much. He does auto attack a lot, but he's very squishy. I don't think he has enough time to really do ability auto attack ability. Anyway, another fight breaks out here. Galio gets an amazing knock-up, and I try to shove people out of the Kindred circle. And here I flash right back in to try to kill both of them. Managed to get the Kindred, but then I'm getting out-kited by this Ezreal severely. And our Garen finally flashes in and was able to pick up the kill. So now I have the anti-heal item just to deal with the many Omnivamp from both Ezreal and Kindred, but also the healing from Volibear, since I kind of have to do everything right now. The Kaisa is the only other person that is able to kill Volibear if she goes for Blade of the Ruin King. But I don't think she's building towards it, and I'm a little frustrated with what the Yasuo is building, because he is one of the other person that can kill the tanks, but he's not building Blade of the Ruin King. So right now our team composition went from extremely great to deal with the enemy team comp, but because of the item decisions from my teammates, we are actually struggling to deal with the tank, which is Volibear. So now, with no soul on the table, I don't really have to care too much about this one. I'm actually here to steal the Krugs, but she actually just got the Krugs, the Kindred. So unfortunately, there's not much to do right now apart from hanging around. And I'm trying to ping to my teammate, like, can we group up? Like, please? I'm the only one here trying to get the prio, and I have no vision, and there's no way for Kaisa and I to just dive right in because there's 4 people here. And here I try to dash in to steal the dragon, and I managed to do so. So that's a little bit of gold for our team. However, immediately we get collapsed on, and I don't have enough sustain because I'm not a tank, I'm just a bruiser. And we just get completely obliterated, and our Galio was just, I don't know, he just thinks that like all he has to do is just ult in. He's not going to be the first one in, even though he's playing support. It's actually really frustrating sometimes when everyone's kind of just playing for themselves, because like it's better for the support player to die while the Kaisa survives, the ADC survives, and the kind of support sacrifices himself while the enemy team is focusing on them, so that we can have consistent damage output. But in solo queue, that just doesn't happen. And right now, look at the stats of our team. Kaisa and I are so ahead, but then because all the threats are still alive, the most fed members on the enemy team are members that Kaisa and I have a hard time dealing with, especially when Kaisa is not building Blade of the Ruined King. She finally gets Blade of the Ruined King now, so she has the ability to deal with Volibear, but then Volibear is just so fed right now. He is an entire level up against me. And I'm lucky that he didn't steal these Krugs, because he could just very well just steal it in front of my face and there's nothing I can do about it. I see Garen is running into trouble. I tried to go defend him, and that will be a big mistake. Luckily the turret is still up, so I can kind of just hang around this area. And Garen is pinging everyone. Like, apparently it's not his fault for getting the enemy team completely fed. Stairskate got triggered, but because the enemy team has anti-shield, I just completely lose out on my lifeline, and I have to flash away real fast. And now we are just forced back to our towers. We're losing in terms of macro. We had such a great early game, and now I can't even fight against a single enemy team champion because they are all scaling. So apart from Volibear, who's more of a lane bully, but because he bought Heartsteel, he became a scaling champion, and every single enemy team champion just became scalers, and our Yasuo and Garen was just not present. We're just fighting 2-man down, and that is the end of the game. I could have done something better, for example buying Sundered Sky a little earlier, but once again, just falling off in the late game, and I did not protect Kaisa very well. Took a few bad fights, steal some objectives that didn't really matter too much, and that was the end of the game. And Kaisa was the only person that worked really well, and I'm surprised she was able to get ahead even with a support like that refuses to engage or like take damage for the team. Once again, another very disappointing game. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and my analysis. I will see you once again, maybe tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, or a channel update. See you guys.